3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, my name is David Head, and I teach history at the University of Central Florida in Orlando. I had my first opportunity to speak to the Boca Raton group a couple of months ago. I'm looking very much forward to coming back soon. I specialize in the history of 18th century America. People who lived during that time had a lot more experience with quarantines than we do today. It's natural to think, well, how do they deal with living with a quarantine? Looking to the past for examples of what today is often a good strategy. That's a great use for history. But I want to share with you today a story from the life of Alexander Hamilton about what not to do during a quarantine. In the summer of 1791, Alexander Hamilton was the Treasury Secretary, and he was living in Philadelphia, which was then the capital of the United States. He packed up his wife, Eliza, and their children, and sent them to live with Eliza's family in Albany, New York for the summer. Alexander said he would love to come with them, but he just had so much work to do as Treasury Secretary. That was true. Hamilton was very busy. But he also wanted privacy for another reason. Hamilton that summer was conducting a sex affair. Hamilton had fallen in with a woman named Mariah Reynolds, who was also married. And Hamilton saw her throughout the summer of 1791. Hamilton wrote frequently to his wife Eliza. She often expressed the wish to come back, perhaps a little bit early. She and the children, they just missed her husband and their father so very much. Alexander put her off every time. Her health was just too important. She shouldn't risk it. Yeah, that's why he didn't want her to come back. Eventually, though, the summer ended. Eliza and the children returned to Philadelphia. Alexander broke things off with Mariah, and he thought that was it. But it wasn't. It turns out that Mariah and her husband, James Reynolds, were blackmailers. And they wanted Hamilton to pay them money to keep his secret. Hamilton did pay, eventually over $1,000 to keep them quiet. Hamilton might have thought he was over with it right then and there. But several years later, James Reynolds got in trouble with the law. He had been forging government securities. And when Hamilton would not come to rescue him, Reynolds started talking about how Hamilton had been corrupting his office as Treasury Secretary. And some of Hamilton's political enemies heard those rumors too. Eventually, in time, the rumors got to a journalist who gleefully published the details of Hamilton's misdeeds. Hamilton had one more move, however. He published a pamphlet in which he freely admitted to the affair, but maintained that he never corrupted his office as Treasury Secretary. His argument was persuasive, and his admission persuaded people. Hamilton retained his reputation for public service, but his marriage and his overall reputation as a gentleman of virtue were damaged. So that's a story from the life of Alexander Hamilton, who you should not be following during this quarantine time. Instead, I would point you to the many wholesome resources available through the OLLI program. That will keep you busy until the program can resume face-to-face. I hope to see you again soon, and thank you for listening to me. Thank you.